Hey everyone, it's your girl Alfia. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. Let's talk about Divorce Sisters. Let's talk about a few other things and let's get caught up. Okay, so yesterday was the season finale, and I know a lot of people were on the edge of their seats. Geneva has finally told Tiffany the tea. Now, she has told Tiffany that her and Javon had an affair. And we also learned some tragic news. Baby girl Anika, Geneva and William's daughter, sadly found her father passed out and blood covered everywhere. What type of mother is Geneva? I bet you're wondering. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. You don't want to miss any of my updates because I'm going to be spilling some tea. And we're going to be talking about Divorce Sisters. And I pissed somebody off on Facebook. Of course. They weren't around for my wild Facebook days where I used to go in on people. Now, let's talk about characters. So, Geneva realizes that she has left her daughter, and she goes to the house to rush back. But Pastor Jeff gets there before she does, and she was like, my daddy, he's not up or whatever. He's not responding or whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's 5 and she doesn't even know what's going on. Well, she does know what's going on because she's like, is he dead or whatever? And Pastor Jeff is really being calm. Shout out to Pastor Jeff because he's the real MVP of this episode. Because Rashida and Geneva has gotten my doggone nerves. And I know people are saying, like, that Rashida is Geneva's counselor, so she shouldn't, be telling her business, which is HIPAA law, because I went to school for therapy. I didn't finish, but I do know that is HIPAA law, so you can jump by that and you can lose your license. But I don't think Rashida is actually a licensed therapist. She is a first lady, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Since everybody want to call out saying she can't say anything to Tiffany, but you had the nerve to pull Javon aside, and you did ask Javon earlier that day if you could have him come to the church to talk to you. But, Rashida, if you can't tell Tiffany something, how the heck you're going to tell Javon about the affair with him and Geneva? And people are saying that's okay. I understand that Rashida may be people's favorite, and I'm going to go ahead and say I love me some Latoya. I love her down. But I'm going to call a spade a spade. When you're wrong, you're wrong. Because Naomi is my favorite, but I'm going to call her out too. But if Rashida is your favorite, that's fine. But you're going to have to call her out and hold her accountable. I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. She was dead ass wrong. How the hell you gonna sit up here and tell Javon stuff and call him the devil? But what is Geneva? She's a Jezebel then. Yeah, she's a devil too, because she slept with the devil. She's no innocent nor than he is an innocent. She can't be sitting here throwing out wild cards saying, oh, he's a devil, he's this, and y'all going back throwing shots and scriptures at each other. Honey, what are you? And people all tell me, it's okay for Rashida to confront him. Actually, it's not. It's not actually her place. She's not really being a first lady. Yeah, I understand that there's certain things in Geneva. I'm going to go ahead and say it like I said. Geneva, she's loyal to Geneva. It's giving Karen and Andy season 1 of Sisters. When Karen and Andy used to leave Danny and Sabrina. If you watch Sisters, you know what I'm talking about from season 1. But they have changed with Sisters, and I don't watch Sisters somewhere. But if you guys are watching, I hope you guys are enjoying it. But Jeff spilled the tea. He was like, you're not going to be a man to tell her. And, Rashida was trying to get him to hush. No, Jeff said, I'm tired of this BS. Basically, I'm going to tell the truth because you ain't going to tell us, so I'm going to tell us. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. No one was down Jeff's back, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. Jeff was not wrong because I'm going to tell you something. He going to expose the devil. But Geneva, she just going to sit. I'm not Geneva. Rashida going to sit there and pray. No, baby. She's sitting here telling the little girl, we can pray for daddy. Nah, baby. Y'all need to tell Tiffany. Tiffany, I'm going to go ahead and say, Tiffany, I need you to be a little bit smart next season. I need you to get some balls, and I need you to snap. Because people have a side conversation around you, and you sitting there not paying attention. Let me tell you something. You ain't nosy enough for me. Baby, you got to be nosy. You don't have to be nosy to the point where you have to ask questions. You got to be nosy and ear hustle. Because, baby, all that talking, you didn't catch 2 and 2. Because I was like, Lord Jesus, the mall is open and ain't nobody shopping. Like, you ain't putting 2 and 2 together and making 4. I'm making 4 every episode when you putting 2 and 2 together by myself. Because the story goes, Bridget, and I'm going to go ahead and say Bridget was spilling tea too, because Bridget was calling everybody. She was calling, she called Naomi. She called
She called Tiffany. Tiffany was getting ready to show her house. Girl, I wouldn't have missed that on no money. I'm gonna tell you something. Next season, Tiffany better not be friends with Geneva nor Rashida because they are trifling. And I want to hear, oh, Rashida shouldn't tell because it's not her place to tell. And I'm going to say this is a show. But in real life, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm all for keeping secrets. But I'm going to say this. If your friend is hurting and like Tiffany asked her in an episode, are you my girl? You have my back? I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Tiffany, from the back. She don't have your back. Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't want to hear nothing about hints. She gave her hints and stuff. Yes, she gave her hints. Like, don't mess with him. But I'm going to go ahead and say, if you're not going to give me no hint not to mess with somebody, don't ask me not to mess with somebody. Come like, girl, does he have AIDS? Does he have this? Does he have that? I'm going to ask these questions. You know Tiffany a little lost in the sauce. You could have told Tiffany something. Yes, you could have told Tiffany something. Then I'm going to go ahead and say, Geneva telling her, it's your fault. Girl, how the hell is my fault? Oh, you just mad. I'm going to go ahead and say, she telling Jay, I love you. I don't think Jay loves you anymore. I think he really has strong feelings for Tiffany. I know he kissed Geneva. Yes, he did. But I'm also say this. I don't think he wants her no more. And I know he said in 2 episodes ago that, you know, you leave him and I leave her and we can be together, raise our daughter. He don't want you, Geneva. He's sitting here flaunting Tiffany in your face. Yes, he used Tiffany. Yes, he did. But I'm going to say this. I think he was trying to use Tiffany before, but I'm going to go ahead and say, boy done caught feelings for Tiffany. And I'm going to go ahead and say, Geneva, you're going to be left. You're going to be all by yourself. Okay, let me think about what else happened on this episode. Rashida won't even tell her husband what had been going on or what had been transpired. But he called Geneva and Javon kissing. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. I like how Javon, when she said, she was like, I don't like the devil. He was like, I don't like him either. And she called him a devil. How you going to call him a devil? No, I'm still stuck in this. You calling him the devil, then what is Geneva? Yes, she's your friend, but I'm going to say this. You're not holding your friend accountable. You're not. And yes, she was telling Geneva to tell, but I'm going to go ahead and say, y'all did Tiffany dirty. And poor Bridget was sitting there like, what the heck is going on? And then when Anika hit her mama with, you're so mean to my daddy. I don't want to talk to you. Basically, like she don't even bother her. How a 5-year-old tell you how she feel, and you sitting there crying. And I'm sitting there like this. Dog, mother of the year. Mother of the year. Geneva, you're not a good mother. You're not a good wife. You're not a good... Are you a good lawyer? I hope you're a good lawyer because you're not a good mother. You're not a good wife. But I'm going to go ahead and say not too much on Kadeen because I love me some KK. But Geneva is pissing me off. That's why I had to put her and Rashida on the shelf this episode. Javon run my props because I'm going to go ahead and say it. Don't let nobody belittle you and call you out about what you doing in your sins, but you ain't calling out the woman that was doing the sins with me. 2 wrongs don't make a right. You can't be sitting here telling me about my sins when the person that was doing sins is your best friend. Yeah, you got to call us both out. Don't be sitting there like, oh, well, I'm the one that came and seduced her. I'm going to tell you something. When you have sex with somebody, it takes 2 to tango. Unless you got, you know. But I'm just saying, they were both doing the mumbo jumbo. And Rashida gonna sit here and say, I don't like this. And this and that. You calling out Javon. Yeah, Javon is messy. But I'm gonna say this, what you think? A man's only gonna do what you allow. Geneva did it too. They both, I'm gonna go ahead and say you gotta call them both out. Don't be calling out just Javon. What y'all thinking about divorces? Because it's just too much. It's just too much. Tyler, I need season 2 like yesterday. Because that cliffhanger and she telling him she love him and y'all seeing his body language, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Tiffany, if you need new friends, don't go to that church because that right there is messiness. But Devon did it. He ate down, telling the truth, calling it out. Because Rashida something telling Geneva, if you don't tell, I'm going to tell William, girl, you didn't do nothing either. Go sit down. You pissing me off. You're pissing me off this season. You can redeem yourself in season 2 because I'll be back. Because I'm not going to bash you. And Naomi sitting here meeting with Hakeem after she landed. And she said she waited in 2 hours. She was at Big Daddy's. Shout out to Big Daddy's in Atlanta. If you haven't been to Big Daddy's in Atlanta, you might want to eat there. That's a good place to eat. I love to go down there when I go to Atlanta because I used to live in Atlanta. And I see there all the time. But shout out to Atlanta Big Daddy's. Okay, so everybody thinking that Hakeem is undercover. I think he may be. If he is undercover, he's a dirty cop for real. I do not think that Naomi's ex-husband is dead. And then her son sitting there snitching. I'm like, Lord have mercy. He pissed me off too. I'm like, Lord, just throwing your mom under the bus. Just throwing your mom under the bus. I was like, Lord have mercy. And Naomi told some the way she flipped the script, at that table and she ran up out of there and then the police got her. I was like, dog, Naomi, you almost had it, boo. But next season, I want to see who's going to jail, who's not going to jail, who's going down. I'm going to say, how is the police going to say this is a homicide when they're at William and them house, but the police was not at the hospital? Who wrote this? Come here. Because they wrote a little too fast. Just a little too fast. Not too much on Tyler, though, because I know, when you're writing, as a writer, I know sometimes you forget, and sometimes you be in a rush, and yeah, but how we forget that part, though? Okay. But if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. You don't want to miss any of my updates. Thank you guys so much, and shout out to Tyler Perry. Thank you so much for Divorce Sisters.